Hey, here's some quick progress for you on the unit. Over here, I have a browser open, temp.pagekey.io. On the left, I have some logs running. So if I hit enter, you see it load here. This means that my PageKey unit that I'm logged into received that request, and all I did was request it on the open internet. So anyone in the world could make this request to this DNS address, HTTP only for now. If you add HTTPS, you'll see that it fails. I have Cloudflare, and that is to hide my IP address so that you can't figure out my location based on the IP of this public-facing website name. So this is the first step towards self-hosting something publicly available, which I think is pretty cool. We have the nice, easy-to-remember domain name that goes right to a computer sitting in the same room that I'm in now in my residence. So what if everyone could do that? It would be pretty awesome because then we could email each other without a middleman. Now you're going to say, what about Cloudflare? They're kind of a middleman in this case. You'd be right. However, it's pretty dangerous to host your own IP out there for everyone to see. They can tell things about you that you don't want to make public, perhaps. And also, there's a lot of people just browsing the internet trying to find things like this that they can hack into. So better to keep that private. Also, it's just worth it to use the proxy with Cloudflare. But also, I'm going to kind of assume that this whole computer, this whole unit sitting in my room is compromised at this point because it is exposed to the internet. So who knows what could happen to it? I guess I should just assume that it's been hacked into and not put anything sensitive on it. So that's what I'm also going to recommend anyone who has a public-facing unit to do the same. With that said, let's go into a couple slides with some other thoughts. As you can see, we're taking some baby steps. 26th of August, update for the PageKey unit. We've self-hosted an HTTP website. So I envision that the average person would have perhaps two PageKey units that they own. The first one is public facing, which is what we just saw the very first look at. It's where you put something out there on the internet that anyone can reach at any time. And this is me trying to put my money where my mouth is and host my website at PageKey.io that's currently hosted on GitHub Pages. Host it myself on my own hardware because we're going to want to do everything that way. Let's start with the website. It's very simple. And of course, this is likely to have downtime, slowness, all that stuff because it's just one machine. It's simple, so it's not going to have all those enterprise improvements that we take for granted. But I think that's okay. I'm going to set up an uptime robot monitor so that I can tell when the website goes down and learn lessons when it goes down. So we'll see where that goes. Now, the private unit, I think, would be more secure. And this is where people can either not connect it to the internet at all, or they can use Tailscale, a VPN, to make it available only to their stuff, only to people who've been added to their account. I think that's exciting. And then Plex, of course, is a media server. You can put your music on there, you can put movies or whatever it is, and serve those things privately just for you to consume. So you don't have to pay $10 or $20 a month for Pandora or Spotify or whatever you use to stream things. You have your own media, they're actual files that you own on your computer. You can serve them out with a similar experience, a similar app as Spotify, but it's all self-hosted. So zooming out, what does the 1 to 3 year vision look like? 1 to 3 is pretty arbitrary numbers, but this is just some random thoughts. I think it would be great if people could live their entire digital life off of just a few pieces of hardware in their home. So the public one is going to have the port forwarding set up. You can send messages and emails, but you should always assume that it's been hacked, as you should with probably any cloud hosting that you do anyway. You can share files with people, things like that. I think of it as kind of just a staging area where you put things that you know are going to go out to someone else, and someone else is going to download them, and then you can take them off. Then you'll have the private unit that you can either never connect to the internet, you can leave it in a microwave or a Faraday cage if you're really trying to be really careful, or you can use that VPN solution so that you have the convenience of accessing it anywhere, but you also have that security where it's not just sitting open on the internet for anyone to make requests to. And then we can get into how do people do backups. Like as a society, as people, we all need to figure out how to back up our own data. If this is going to work, we have to take responsibility for our own data and stop outsourcing that to other people. And perhaps there's a solution for a router where you could buy a unit router it's pre-configured, and all you have to do is plug it in, and you have that peace of mind, that security for your public unit where you know it's isolated from everything else on your network. Thank you for listening. If this is at all interesting to you, scan this QR code or go to pagekey.io/unit. There's a place for you to sign up and give me your email address, and I will reach out personally, say hello. And I'm really curious what you're interested in for this project, what would meet your needs, all that stuff. There's also a pre-order button, which if you're really just sold on this idea, feel free to pre-order it, and I will get this initial cut at the product to you as fast as I can. But in the meantime, I'm really looking for that feedback and really looking to build something that people like. So appreciate any info you can give me or support or whatever. Thanks.